Welcome back to GBGuns. We are out today with the Tisas Tank Commander. These are cold shots through this gun at a reduced size torso. There are 9 rounds in the chamber, well, in the mag that I'm putting in the chamber.
9 will ideally go through the chamber eventually.
I think they will. It'll just be a matter of where do they go.
As you guys saw on the tabletop, this is kind of an interesting remix of 1911 styles. Pseudo-modern, pseudo-classic.
Oh, that's nice. Flinch, we all do it. Oh, guess who was on the the slide stop? That's
First
really
thoughts?
pleasant. It's got a really, what is a word that describes this trigger? I'll come up with it as we go on, but let's see what Graham thinks.
First shots for me through the 1911 A1 Tank Commander using, I love that these mags, as you saw on the tabletop, are coated the same as the gun, so they match. Looks Parkerized, but not. Yes, I know 1911 guys, using the support side thumb is the easier way. I just wanted to see if I could reach it, and I can. See how this goes. Sights are the same color as the gun. Nice recoil impulse. Very comfy shooter. I like that. I think this is going to be fun. Coming up, we have a multi-mag test because it's a 1911 and we've got a bunch of different 9mm 1911 mags. Want to see what runs and what doesn't. Then, of course, full mag plus one, then the multi-mag, then our trademark What's for Dinner test, the dreaded spinner test, then 5 shots from 7 yards of practical accuracy, and we'll give you our concluding thoughts. But so far, pretty comfy shooter. Full mag plus one, we're looking to see how do these mags in this gun run fully stuffed. We're using PMC Bronze 115 grain, safety on, drop the empty. So giving us a total of 10 rounds. And I'm gonna shoot at the same torso, just looking to burn it down. It'd be great if I hit it every time, but really wanting to see the gun run. So see how it runs quick. Very smooth, no choking. T and I were talking, no, I'm gonna save this little tidbit. We figured out something that we like about this gun and we'll save it for the end. Anyways, let's see how it runs with other mags. Multi-mag is where we test other mags of the same pattern in guns that are compatible with, just in case they run or don't run, so you guys know. It is only a sample size of 1 and it depends on what we grab. We've got 5 different 9mm 1911 mags to try today, starting off with a Wilson Combat. We just have 3 rounds in here to see how it cycles. We know the mags themselves will run full. Just want to see what will run in this gun. And we have a choke on the last round. So it looks like a no-go. Oh wait, it was a slide stop. I have to bump that somehow. All right, so good shooter error on the Wilson Combat. A Metgar, nice and I think melanited or something like it. No issues. A No Name, one of the generic cheapies that you can find online. Ah, flinch. No issues. One of the nicer generics that you find online that's all shiny and nicely polished. No issues, drops out very nice with that slick cover. And a Made in USA Zenith. These I believe were Act mags, but marked Zenith on it from when they imported these. Doesn't fully drop out, but it does run on that. So hopefully that gives you guys at least a rough idea of how this gun can run with other mags and how other mags might run with this gun. Isn't that a brilliant thought right there? Anyways, Let's see what it eats. It's that time again. Thanks to our Ammo Squared supporters, True Shot Gun Club, and patrons, we've got What's for Dinner test. The goal here is to see what the gun will eat. As we move past these, you'll see that they all have different overall lengths, different shapes, different places of the ogive, case material, case coatings, etc. We want to see, will the gun eat it? That is, does it feed it from slide lock? Is there enough energy to cycle and feed another round of the same type afterwards? And does it lock open when empty? The third round is there just to reduce variables. We're going from 90 grain to 165 grain today. No aluminum this time because, well, it's been hard to find.
For circle number 1 and What's for Dinner today, we're going to start out with the Polyfrange frangible ammunition 90 grain flat tip, lead free.
And folks, we
in the USA.
Yes. We are using the mags from the multi-mag test. If we have an issue, we'll go back and try the factory mags. Sorry about the lighting. It is fall in the Northwest.
That's a little bit longer mag.
It's a bonus mag. Oh, no slide lock?
That's me.
Okay. That is a lightweight round.
And for circle number 2, we have Koenig's 110 grain jacketed hollow point. I don't know if I've ever shot these.
I don't think we have.
I'm going to try to be mindful of that slide stop. Maybe.
Happens to me on Walthers all the time. Walthers and Canics.
Those are definitely stouter.
No slide lock.
No. That's got to be me.
Maybe we'll retry a single round of both those loads through the factory mags at the end.
Okay. And on circle number 3, we have Wolf steel case. This is 115 grain full metal jacket, and we use steel and or aluminum in our test to check for expansion and contraction rates, because some guns don't like that.
Yes, essentially. The material expands and contracts at a different rate than brass does inside the chamber, which can lead to tougher extracting sometimes.
Trying to learn it.
Also, folks, off camera, we confirmed it was just a grip issue preventing the slide from locking to the rear. Same thing that happens to me on Canics and Walthers. I rest my thumb right there and prevent the slide stop.
Okay, so changing my grip helped everything. It's not as comfortable just because I'm not as familiar with it or comfortable with that particular grip, but it obviously helped a couple things.
The percussion from that Wolf seemed a little stronger. Did it feel hotter?
It felt hotter. It didn't cause a flip as much as it did a push. Circle number 4, Federal Punch in 124 grains. It's a jacketed hollow point.
We're laughing because we just realized that one of the mags that ran through the multi-mag was probably a 10 mil mag.
I'm going to keep my thumb forward a little bit more. Totally changes the grip and the grip angle that I have. Dang. That is some stout ammunition.
Sounded pretty percussive. Nicely done.
And on circle number 5, we have the 124 grain full metal jacket Bellum. We've actually come to enjoy this.
Yeah, we used it at a course recently, got it from Global Ordnance, and found it to be cleaner, less smoky, and a little softer than you'd expect.
I don't know. Stuff happens, but I am getting slide lock now.
Learning that new grip. Circle number 6, Federal's Syntec Training Match 124 grain. These have the purple synthetic coating on them, and they are snubby.
Ooh.
I was not holding on as well as I should have. I think it's because the 1911 is just a comfortable grip. Somebody just hit steel, and an eagle, quite possibly a bald eagle, because we are in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Just cried out like, "Yeah, America!" And circle number 7, ZQI. This is 124 grain nickel-plated steel case, brass jacketed. Really interesting stuff. Good for long-term storage. Priced somewhere below regular brass, but a little above steel case. It's interesting ammunition.
Ooh, nice.
And softer shooting than that previous stuff.
The percussion on those is always so interesting.
Yeah, there is physics. I don't know the answer, but physics.
Yeah.
Happens every morning. Horney's Critical Duty 135 grain flex lock. This is a nickel plated brass case ammunition for circle number 8. Fighting the fence there. And if you're curious, folks, yes, the folks in the bay next to us like shooting at big steel very close up. So it's really loud and we're getting lots of spall over here, but that doesn't stop us. Next, new for us and new to the channel, we want to welcome Master Gunworks LLC's Gold Standard Ultra Premium Ammunition. This is a hybrid hollow point defense load, 142 grain. Very interesting, and 1120 feet per second, which is a little hot for a bullet that heavy. See how it does. Never shot it before. Oh, it's stout. But bearable. And I believe just made a ragged hole. My eyes showing that right?
That is correct. That is a ragged hole.
And our last one, thanks to our friends over at True Shot Gun Club, is Ammo Inc.'s Stealth, or Stealth, yeah, I guess you don't need the A, do you? 165 grain TMC. This is plenty slow and quiet when run through a can. How's it do at a 4 1/4 inch 1911? We'll find out on circle 10 in a moment here. Soft. Smells a little mustardy. Yes, yes, hints of mustard. But comfortable to shoot. Almost doesn't feel like 9mm. Segway time. No, just kidding. That was, Tia brought that up. Anyways, next up, sights and trigger control on the spinner test. Now, Tia, we've got a single stack, so max is 9 rounds, but we do have a 4 1/4 inch 9mm, so we're getting more energy out of 9 than we normally would. Should we just take 9 rounds?
Yes, please.
All right. Out at 15 yards is our Titan Grid Outdoors 6-inch spinner target. That little pendulum is 6 inches in diameter. This is what the view is more like. We use this to test sights and trigger control because as you hit it, it starts moving. The more you hit it, the faster it moves, the harder it is to time an accurate shot. So good for getting a feel of the trigger and the sights. We're using Blazer 115 grain brass.
Stopped it. Oh, I'm out. God dang it.
So Tia, my thought in going into this is with the sights being the same color as the slide, a little hard to differentiate.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to have some kind of brightness, whether it's in the rear or the front, somewhere to cause that contrast, especially when we're working with a target that's kind of in a shadow, kind of not in a, you know, very standout color. Having to change my grip and move that thumb forward allowed the gun to move a lot in my hand. I was not able to control my grip as much with my, my shooting hand. That had an effect on me. The very stern trigger that this has, it's not light, it's not hard, it's just very firm. You have to be deliberate with your trigger pull. Though there's not a super difficult break to make at the end of it, you have to be deliberate, especially with this grip safety here and feeling all of that work. I could have done it had I not missed or stopped it. But otherwise, that was an enjoyable spinner test for me.
Your lessons with thumb placement for the slide lock / slide release to me are really fascinating, because I learned to shoot on a 1911 and then got into other guns. You kind of became established on more modern guns and are now getting into 1911s.
Right. Well, I mean, my young days of shooting firearms and stuff was obviously with a 1911 45, so that was different. That was never anything pleasant. That was never anything that was analyzed or objectives deduced in what you're doing, just 20 and throwing rounds down range. But that changing that grip angle for me comes in like this now, whereas before I'm here. This is my typical grip, and that is right there. I have to move forward more, which I see, most people that I see, their thumbs are longer forward more, and I just assume that it's because they have a larger hand and that's where their hands fall. But I'm realizing now that it changes with the gun. I just hadn't experienced it.
All right, 9 rounds of PMC bronze, so that's what we're using on the spinner. And folks, I think I said it earlier, but this lighting is just what happens way up north here this time of year.
There.
Ah.
There it went.
Nice. Once again, going after Tisas seems to have its advantage, just in reflecting on being deliberate with the trigger, having intent. It's almost, I'd say, a friendly gun for people with a flinch tendency, because you gotta kind of punch it to get through that wall. Not a bad trigger, not excessively heavy or anything like that. It's just very definitive wall. And so saying, now dang it, really helps with timing shots on this. And at the same time, that prevents it from being an accidental or negligent discharge. It's not one of those triggers that putting your finger near it and the gun empties the magazine kind of thing. So,
well, and for me, it's not like one of those double action triggers where you get to one stage and come through the next. It's not like that at all. You can really stage this well.
Yeah, where the wall is, which is great. And the sights were not as bad as I thought. I believe this front sight is fixed permanently. A little bit of paint on there would probably go a long way to make it easier to contrast. But we'll find out more about that when we shoot our accuracy shots coming up next.
For our accuracy, we're using the gold standard 115 grain jacketed hollow point match target ammunition. I will be shooting at the left circle square.
Shots from 7 yards will also be with the Master Gunworks LLC Gold Standard Ultra Premium Ammunition, 115 grain. It is a hollow point, not the same as the 142 that we shot in the What's for Dinner test.
Well done. So my overall thoughts of the Tank Commander are positive. I really enjoy the feel of this gun. I love the memory of the grip safety in the hand. I actually enjoy the trigger. It's very pleasant. Like I said earlier, unlike, you know, a double action trigger, I'm not having that kind of come to a wall and then go more. The sights, I would like a little brightness on this front sight post. I think that would help me a lot. And if I could change one thing, it would be to have a true place to rest my thumb rather than the slide stop, because changing my grip is what resulted in those results. That was redundant, but that's what I meant. It's because first two shots are great, but my grip changed so much I would have had to have completely come off the gun, reset myself, and taken those next shots. Just shooting through that, those were my results. Still defensively good. I'm not displeased with them, but if I had someplace else to rest my thumb to get a better seal right there on my hands, this would be a dream. Yeah, like it.
As shown in the tabletop, this is kind of a cool retro gun, if you will. It's not 100% A1 on the little fine things, and I'm sure plenty of you can point out. But it looks and feels World War II-ish, including the really narrow beaver tail, which for me caused some redness and some discomfort, but not so much that I didn't want to keep shooting the gun, because it's really fun to shoot. Something about an all steel, hardened before machined beefcake gun in 9mm makes it really pleasant. We were talking off camera about the recoil impulse, and something about this action type, especially with the weight of the gun and it being chambered in 9mm, kind of stretches the recoil impulse. So you just get a whoa whoa, much like you would in 45 in any action type, but it feels very 1911-y, I guess, in that way, and you can just kind of ride it, and it just makes for a really comfortable shooting experience. The lack of checkering on the front strap here did not, for me, play any role. There was no slippage. I didn't have to worry about traction, and despite the fact that the stripes on the mainspring housing are vertical instead of horizontal, once again, the gun didn't fish much at all. I think a lot of that is because it's all steel. It just sits in your hand and gets that warmth that an all steel gun has, and it's just a really pleasant shooting experience that gives you some of the classic 1911, but some of the modern 1911 at the same time. It ran everything. It even accidentally ran the wrong mag when I made the mistake of putting the wrong caliber mag in there. Really, really impressed with this thing. I think it's a tremendous value, and definitely something you should check out if you're looking to get a classic-ish 1911 without spending a lot of money. I think Tisas has your answer, and the Tank Commander is a pretty handsome piece. Thanks for watching.